Coming up on OU Nightly, the House is still without a speaker. We have what lawmakers are saying. Plus, a missile strike kills hundreds in Gaza, who officials say was the cause. And Motif is looking for a new home. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Melina Samir.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel. We begin tonight with the first official vote for a new U.S. Speaker of the House since former Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted.
GOP candidate Jim Jordan from Ohio did not get enough votes to clinch the speakership. OU Nightly's Kevin Palomino is in our Washington bureau with what lawmakers are saying on Capitol Hill.
Good evening. After a week filled with private sessions from the Republican Party, Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio failed to gather 217 votes needed to win Speaker of the House, 20 of those votes going to other representatives like Scott Scalise, who previously challenged Jordan, and one of those votes going to Oklahoma's Representative Tom Cole. Now, all 5 members of the Oklahoma delegation did vote in favor of Jim Jordan. Tom Cole's name has been thrown out multiple times as a potential candidate for Speaker if the House failed to come to a decision, but there's been some pushback against that option.
I don't want to vote for an omnibus. I don't want to vote for massive spending. I'm not interested in just whatever it takes to keep the government running. I'm a conservative, and I don't think he'd be a conservative.
When Gaylord News approached Representative Cole throughout this past week and asked him if he would accept that nomination, he consistently declined it. Now the House is recessed, but there's another round of voting that we're hearing is expected to take place later today. Reporting from Washington for Gaylord News, I'm Kevin Palomino.
Thanks, Kevin. A candidate for Speaker needs 217 votes to win the Speaker's chair. Until someone meets that threshold, the U.S. House is paralyzed and cannot pass any legislation.
Norman police are investigating a crash overnight that killed 2 people. It happened at the intersection of Robinson and Flood in North Norman. That's about 10 minutes north of campus. OU Nightly's Brig Bates joins us live from the scene. Brig?
The crash happened at 2:30 a.m. this morning. Police believe one of the drivers could have been impaired. The scene is clear now, but police say both drivers were heading down Robinson the same way. One car was stopped at the red light when the other car was hit. The rear-ended them from behind. The first car ended up hitting a traffic light, and the other car rolled and caught on fire. Officers said both drivers were men in their 30s and both died on scene. Police say they found evidence showing that the second driver was impaired, which could have caused a major role in the crash. Norman Police Department is continuing the investigation of the crash. Reporting live in Norman, Brig Bates, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Brig. More public schools are mourning the loss of one of their own. They say Central Junior High student Isley Prestel was hit and killed by a Heartland Flyer train Monday night. MPS releasing a statement saying, quote, she will be deeply missed by her Central Cubs classmates and teachers. School officials say mental health support will be available for all Central Junior High and students and staff.
President Joe Biden will visit the Middle East this week. It comes as the Foreign Affairs Committee is drafting legislation to prepare U.S. military forces in the event of it's necessary. OU Nightly's Victoria Anderson joins us with updates on the Israeli war from the News Center.
President Biden will arrive in Israel tomorrow, hoping to show support for the country while providing humanitarian aid in Gaza. The president was originally scheduled to meet with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who canceled the appointment today, though Biden is still scheduled to meet with Israeli leadership. White House officials say they have deemed the trip safe enough to execute. And a bombing in Gaza earlier today targeting a school and hospital. At least 500 are now presumed dead. The Al-Ali Baptist Hospital sheltering thousands of injured and displaced people. Officials believe many are still under the rubble. It is unclear at this time whether the attack was caused by an Israeli Defense Force strike, a failed Hamas launch, or an attack from a Palestinian Islamic Jihad group.
We are begging the world to bring my baby home.
Desperate pleas from a mother after Hamas released a hostage video featuring her 21-year-old daughter. Mia Shem, who was captured at the Nova Music Festival last week, was shown bandaged and pale, begging to be returned to her family. The hostage video is the first from Hamas, with dozens still in captivity. And at least 17 journalists have been killed during the Israel-Hamas conflict, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Reports say 13 of the journalists were Palestinian. Kaylee Jo, Molina.
Thanks, Victoria. The walk to class this morning was a little chilly, but the warm-up is on the way.
OU Nightly meteorologist Hunter Brittingham joins us with a first look at the forecast. Hunter?
That is right, ladies. Definitely a cool start to the day, but we are quickly warming those temperatures up. As you can see, 73 right now in Norman, 74 in Oklahoma City, and just off to the north and west, we are seeing those temperatures in the low to middle 80s this afternoon. So this time yesterday, we were definitely much cooler than we are at this time of day. We are 11 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, and we are 16 degrees warmer at this hour than we were yesterday across Woodward. Coming up later on in the show, I'm going to continue to talk about the rising temperatures, the dry pattern that will continue, and I'll have a first look at your weekend forecast.
Thanks, Hunter. As we move into the colder months, the need for help with food pantries and homeless shelters grows. Now Norman's Red Dirt Collective is finding simple ways to help people. OU Nightly's Morgan Martin is live with the story.
Now, Second Wind is one of 16 locations in Norman where people can come and donate food. And like many of those pantries, they found themselves running low on resources.
Well, I think everyone realized that there was a huge need for food itself.
This realization led the Red Dirt Collective to ask how they could help community members. And the first outdoor food pantry was built 3 years ago.
When I built the first one I did at Vicksburg Apartments, I was thinking, what's the most low barrier way that people can have access to food?
Ashley Creed is the co-founder, and she says these pantries are available to anyone 24/7. Second Wind Coffee House director Beth Randall says that their location is high traffic and can always use donations.
Yeah, so any of our community members can just come and restock the pantry. We try to stock it as often as we can, but it goes really, really quickly. So sometimes you'll come by and it's empty.
They're in need of pop-top cans, mixes that require little added ingredients, fruit like apples and oranges, and hygiene products. A major help to the cause is a Facebook group to notify what pantries are stocked and where.
What's a good way we could know which ones need more, or what has a thing that someone might need that's on that page.
Now you can find a list of all of the pantry locations across the city on the Norman Pantry Facebook page. On Campus Corner, Morgan Martin, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Morgan. Coming up on OU Nightly, a feline friend is looking for a new home.
Hear more about the cuddly pet of the week in search of its second chance.
And business is booming for female entrepreneurs.
How we're seeing this here in the Metro, up next.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. More women are starting businesses than ever before, according to a recent Gusto survey. The data shows that nearly half of new business owners are women since 2020, compared to the below 29% pre-pandemic. A new businesswoman on Campus Corner says the support from other women has helped fuel the increase.
I think the support of women actually has helped a lot. Women supporting other women, lifting each other up. It hasn't always been there, and I feel like the past handful of years, at least, I would say, we have been more supportive of each other.
Oklahoma City is among the top 10 metro areas seeing the largest growth of women business owners, with 30%.
Second Chance Animal Shelter is dedicated to helping animals find their forever home. This week's pet of the week is Motif, a cat waiting to be adopted.
Motif has been with us for a couple months. They're a real chunky cat, not overweight, just thick. And very vocal, if you couldn't tell.
Motif was a stray, initially found by another shelter. However, after not being adopted for a while, she was put on a list to be put down, which is when Second Chance said they came in and rescued her. Motif is about 1 to 2 years old, spayed, has all her vaccinations, and is on the search for her forever home.
Motif would definitely thrive best in an environment where it is a single cat household, just Motif, They're fairly good with other cats, but they like to rule the room.
She is calm and cuddly, but is always up for toys or roughhousing. Plus, she has quite the personality.
Motif is very much a diva. If you look in that window, I guarantee you this will be the cat that is sitting in the center just staring at the window waiting for you to come look. And then as soon as you go look, it's I wasn't waiting for you.
She's also adventurous and curious, always seeking out the latest fashions.
They really like shoes. If people come in, they might notice that most of the staff here wear Crocs. And so they slip off real easy, you know? And so if you slip off a shoe, there's a good chance that Motif's head's going in it.
And when asked why she believes she's the best fit for your home, what should people know about you? Reporting from Second Chance Animal Shelter, Kaylee Fan, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Kaylee. If you or someone you know is interested in Motif or any of the other pets from Second Chance, visit their website at secondchancenorman.com. You can also call the sanctuary at the number on your screen. It's never too late to help a pet in need. Coming up on OU Nightly, you may want to change how you get around town.
The danger on wheels that is affecting many up next.
And a cool front's going to be working its way through Norman and the OU campus later on this week. I'll have the timing and details when we return. Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. Thank you so much for joining us. Beautiful day across campus. We are seeing nothing but blue skies out there. Not really any cloud cover to be seen. Sitting at 73 degrees. Beautiful day, beautiful conditions out there. Feels just like 73. We don't really have a whole lot of humidity out there, and those temperatures are very warm out there. 73 across Norman, 74 in Oklahoma City. Out to the west, I mentioned they are seeing those warmer temperatures this afternoon, but everybody is starting to see those southerly winds coming in from the south, so whipping at 14 miles per hour here in Norman, 13 in Oklahoma City. Some stronger winds out to the west, but all in all, everybody is staying very warm out there with those southerly winds. Radar all across the Sooner State, just a few returns out there across our radars here in the Oklahoma City metro area, but we are staying dry, and that is going to continue to be the case. So we do have a cold front working its way across the northern Midwest, and that is going to creep south. And as it does, we're really not going to be seeing any changes in terms of precipitation. And you might even call this a cool front because it's really not going to do much to our temperatures by the time it comes through Wednesday and into Thursday. We're only going to see those temperatures maybe 1, if not 2 degrees cooler than the day preceding it, but we are not really going to be seeing, as I mentioned, any precipitation, much of which through the remainder of this week, and we will see our temperatures continue to trend into the 70s, back into the 50s overnight, into the 70s and 80s for the day on Wednesday, and back into those 50s for the morning on Thursday. So we are going to be seeing those cooler conditions only for a few more days before we really start to see temperatures warming back up in those middle to upper 80s. But overnight tonight, we're going to see those southerly winds again, 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south, 52 for an overnight low in Norman, 54 in Oklahoma City. And as we head throughout the day on Wednesday, we'll see those temperatures again warming back up. We'll hit 81 degrees tomorrow in Norman, 79 in Oklahoma City. Everyone across Sooner State going to be getting in on those upper 70s and low to mid 80s. But the remainder of the next 7 days, really not going to be seeing any chances for precipitation until about Tuesday of next week. And before then, we're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine. We're going to be seeing those temperatures on the increase. So lots of 70s, even 80s on the board. Kayla, Joe, Melina, I'm excited about these warmer temperatures. I don't know about you, but I want to hold on to the warm temperatures as long as we humanly possibly can.
Me as well.
I do not like winter.
Yes.
I will say it. You heard it here first, OU Nightly. I do not like winter, but
Yeah, so we won't be seeing any 90s though.
No.
Okay, perfect.
Not overly hot, but just warm enough to keep us going. You know, like I like the 70s, 80s, 60s. You know, I can do that. You know, but anything below that or above 80, 85, it's a no from me. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Hunter.
Absolutely.
Now, if you use e-scooters or e-bikes around campus, you may want to reconsider walking. According to a new federal report, fractures, cuts, and burns from these devices have surged more than 20% last year. Overall, injuries from e-scooters, e-bikes, and even hoverboards have risen 23% since 2017. That is a 6-year period. At least 223 deaths have been tied to those products.
Fall ball is in full swing for the back-to-back-to-back national champions, OU softball.
And a former Sooner was a lone star during Monday Night Football. OU Nightly's Dari McCormick has more in sports.
Hard to believe that basketball season is around the corner. Our Stone Weber and Ryan Smith have a report from Big 12 Basketball Media Days next in sports. Hello, I'm Darby McCormick. It's time for sports. OU basketball is preparing to hit the court one last time in the Big 12. Stone Weber and Ryan Smith are in Kansas City at Big 12 Basketball Media Days with what to anticipate.
Greetings from Kansas City. We're here covering Big 12 Basketball Media Days. He's Ryan Smith. I'm Stone Weber. And Ryan, it was a season to remember last year for the Sooners.
You're absolutely right, Stone. Jenny Baranczyk's squad won their first regular season Big 12 conference title since 2009. But the Sooners could only make it to the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament after being bounced by UCLA.
And for Jenny Baranczyk, it's a new-look squad as she loses seniors Maddie Williams, Taylor Robertson, and Anna Yanusa. But this team still has the same OU DNA.
Watching that evolution, that's absolutely incredible. I think what makes it even more incredible is the foundation of this program, because all alums, whether they graduated 20 years ago or just last year, they want the program to be better today than it was yesterday.
Yeah, and headed into year 3 of the Baranczyk era, they're hoping for some similar success they had in those first 2 seasons.
Absolutely right, Stone. And even though the Sooners are ranked 5th in the preseason Big 12 poll, Sooner forward Skylar Vann isn't worried about where the Sooners are at right now.
No matter if we're ranked or not, we're going to come out and do what we're supposed to do. And we've talked about it. We've had long practices for preseason. We've put in the work, so now it's time to showcase it. And we can't allow outside voices to affect us. So I think really just play how we play, and everything else will come.
Vann and the Sooners are back at the Lloyd Noble Center on October 31st to take on West Texas A&M in an exhibition game.
And that's all we have here from Big 12 Basketball Media Days, but we'll be back tomorrow covering OU men's basketball as Porter Moser heads into his 3rd season. Reporting from Big 12 Basketball Media Days in Kansas City for Ryan Smith, I'm Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Stone and Ryan. The future of Oklahoma City basketball continues to change as the Thunder trades Victor Oladipo and Jeremiah Robinson Earl to the Houston Rockets for Kevin Porter Jr. and 2 future second-round picks. After a bye week, OU football faces UCF. But following an exciting OU Texas win, how does the team maintain high spirits? Ethan Downs explains how the team plans to power through.
It's a challenge to handle the excitement and handle the emotions with every team. You come off a big game, you tend to see those teams slope or take a dip or get comfortable. And a big challenge for us is our goals exceed any win that we have. We have team goals. Every week is to go 1-0. Every week is our Super Bowl. So we can put the last win to rest, no matter who it was. Put it to rest. We had a great bye week, celebrated, got healthy and all that.
The Dallas Cowboys faced the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday Night Football, and former Sooner CeeDee Lamb dominated. Coming off of a 42-10 loss to the 49ers, Lamb played a pivotal role in the Cowboys' 20-17 win, averaging 16.7 yards each reception. OU softball welcomed North Central Texas College to Norman and absolutely annihilated them. The Sooners had 32 hits in their 8 at-bats, including 4 home runs, and didn't allow a single run from NCTC. OU women's soccer was dealt their 2nd home loss of the season against number 8 BYU, 2-0. They are 2 points above Big 12 championship cutoff with 1 conference game remaining. Melina, Kaylee Jo.
Thanks, Darby. Coming up on OU Nightly, spooky season is here and the costume search is underway.
Stick around to find out what costumes are topping the charts this year.
I'm Abby Hollinsworth at the OU Nightly Update Desk. CNN reports dozens of protesters tried to storm the Israeli embassy in the capital of Jordan. This comes after the deadly bombing of a hospital in Gaza, which killed at least 500 people. According to CNN, security forces used tear gas to push back protesters. Kaylee Jo, Melina.
Thanks, Abby. Melina, have you picked out your Halloween costume?
I haven't yet, but I have a couple options I'm competing towards. But if you're like me, Google has revealed the top costumes for 2023. You may see a sea of pink when trick-or-treating, with Barbie topping the list.
Coming in at number 2, Princess, and in the 3rd spot, Spider-Man. Some other highlights include Cowboy Witch and Wednesday Addams.
And after a taste of sweater weather, the cooler temperatures are warming up this week.
OU Nightly meteorologist Hunter Brittingham has one last look at this week's forecast.
That is right, ladies. We will see those temperatures quickly on the increase day by day throughout the remainder of the next 7 days. That cool front coming through Thursday into Friday, going to cool temperatures off into the upper 70s, but a lot of sunshine throughout then. Clouds return for this week and a beautiful weekend on hand, lower 80s for both Saturday and Sunday. Rain chances may return heading into the day on Tuesday with a 30% chance.
Thanks, Hunter, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Melina Samir.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hummel. Have a great night.
Prepared as your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or